wrote a groovy guitar part that's really cool and slick, but you feel like it's still missing some color. So this is what you need to be adding to your part. Double stops. So double stop is basically playing two notes at the same time, obviously on two different strings. And it can be any interval, third, fourth, fifth, or even sixth. How do you play them, and how do you find the ones that work over a chord? Well, let's start with something that we already know, the minor pentatonic scale. If we're in the key of A minor, that's where our A minor chord will be. If you know this scale, you can already find your first double stops. Let's start with the first string, 5th fret, and we need to find a note that's just on the above string, which will be 5th fret on the 2nd string. So if you play them together, that's your double stop. Now if we add our pinky on the 8th fret and find the string and the note above it, we get this double stop. Cool, we have two double stops already. Let's move to a different set of strings. 2nd and 3rd. So we're going to be playing note in the scale on the 5th string, and we need to find one that's just on the above string, the closest one, which will be this one. So we have two strings on the 5th fret, barred again. Now let's find another note on the 2nd string, which is 8th fret. We play it with the pinky. And then the next note on the 3rd string, which would be our 7th fret. We can't bar it, but we can use our 3rd finger for it, so we'll be playing it like this. Then we move to the next set of strings, 3rd and 4th. And this is our double stop here. Then we have a couple more on the strings 4 and 5. By the way, if barring doesn't feel natural, doesn't come naturally to you, you can also just use two fingers, whichever work better for you. So we have these two, and let's move to the last set of strings, which is 5 and 6. So this, and we have, this time is a bit more tricky because we have our pinky on the 8th fret of the 6th string and ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. So let's play all of these together. Once we get comfortable with that, we can join neighboring shape of the minor pentatonic scale, like the 2nd position. So if our 1st position is here, we can join the 2nd one. So again, shapes again. There's going to be one common shape that will be shared between the two positions. If we just strictly follow the scale shapes, you will notice that some double stops are 4th interval and some of them are 3rd. What you can do as well is find the notes that are above or below more than one string. Like for instance, if we have our 5th fret of the 4th string, and we, instead of playing this note on the 3rd string, we just move it down by a string. So we play the 5th fret of the 4th string and the 2nd string. And try to move it across the position, the scale shapes. So this gives a bit more of a wider sound, gives you a few more choices. So once you get comfortable with moving across different positions of the pentatonic, we can start looking into adding more notes from a 7-note scale. So in this case, we're in a minor sort of situation, but we're going to use a 2nd mode of a G major scale, which is an A Dorian. So it would sound like this. So now we can add these two notes, which are 7th fret on the 1st string and 7th fret on the 2nd string. Then the same two notes can be found on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, 4th string, and also 9th fret of the 4th string and the 5th string. Even if we're just staying in that same one scale position, we have so many more options now. So this will work really well over an A minor vamp, especially if it's like a Dorian sort of vibe, something like. Even if we just stick with simple one scale shape and just playing the neighboring strings together only, we get so many possibilities and so many different colors that we can use in our arrangements, in our groovy guitar parts. So you can see there are endless possibilities with it. So now it's time for you to explore it. But just before we end it, I thought maybe it would be cool to learn a quick riff that I just played in the intro, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. The way it goes, we kind of start on the A of 4th. So that's the pickup melody, the pickup note. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and A. And we have this shape. It's all in A Dorian. We have this shape. 8th fret on the 2nd string, 9th fret on the 3rd string. So we go just down the scale, 7, 7 on the 2nd string, 2nd and 3rd strings, and 5 on the 2nd and 3rd string. So then we go 7, 7 on strings 4 and 3. And then we go 5, 5 strings 4, 3, 7, 7 strings 4, 3, and then 5, 5 strings 3 and 2. That's the first round. Second round. So at the end, we just add 5, 5 on strings 4 and 3. So we go. Just move it down to a different set of strings. Then the third time is the same. And at the end, this one is a bit different because we start the same actually until the 7, 7 on the 4th and 3rd strings, and then we do 7 on the 2nd string and 8 on the 1st string, and do a little. So let's play the whole riff slowly. 3 and 4. So this is it, guys. My last kind of advice for this kind of thing is that start with maybe minor pentatonic scale and major pentatonic scale. Minor pentatonic over minor chords, maybe try out major pentatonic scale over major chords, and then start building from there, adding 7-note scales to it and trying different wider intervals and different kinds of variations of those double stops. So I hope this video helped with opening the doors to this kind of playing. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them below. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.